Hi, welcome back, and welcome myself back as well. It's been a while since my last video. The Seeds of Magical Possibility was a big video for me, so that video took a lot of space in my hard drive, in my heart, in my mind, and it took a little bit to clear the space back up. And then there was space for new ideas. A new idea came in and started growing inside of me. Leaves, flowers, attracted other ideas. And I'm ready now for a new video. Actually, it's gonna be 2 videos. But before we're gonna talk about it, I want to talk about subscriptions. I really need you to subscribe. I really need to know that you are on the other end, listening and watching my videos. Leave me comments. I need to know what you like, what you enjoy, what touches you. And the way how YouTube works is that if you press the subscribe button, you are not gonna get notified by when the new video is up, and YouTube is not gonna send anything and clutter your email box. But if you do want to get notifications anytime that a new video is posted, you have to add press additional button there, and then YouTube is gonna send you links into your email box, and you can watch it as soon as it's up. So you have those options. So please subscribe, please leave me comments. I want to hear from you. So the next video is gonna be 2 videos, and it's gonna be the same tale, but I will make 2 different videos about it. I have all these ideas, and at first I'm gonna just plain read it from a book. So I'm reading from this book again, and I'm going to read the last story in this book, and it's also about Hank, but the story is a little different. Oh, when I went through the book, I found an old photo here, and it's a beautiful photo that I took of a free-spirited man. Beautiful, in my opinion. So I had an idea to include this photo in the next video. Anyhow, this tale is about a talking fish whose name is Kali. Once upon a time, there lived a talking fish. She loved naming things, and she gave herself a name, Kali, so that she could talk to herself, as there was no one else around to talk to. The other fish were opening and closing their mouths in silence while letting out an occasional bubble of air. Here's how I saw Kali and how I drew her. That's Kali for you. Kali was used to it. She also talked to the rocks and seaweed, dancing with their long strands in the warm undercurrents of the ocean water. What Kali did not know was that on the other side of the big rock that she hung around all the time lived a small crab who had the same gift of speech, and he called himself Hank. Hank loved fish. Now, that was not approved of by his fellow crab community, which always tried to keep the fish away from stealing their sea worms and mollusks from under their noses, right after all that hard work of crushing the shells to get to the yummy part. Here's Hank with his fish that he loved, smiling crab. All crabs around waved their pincers in anger, snapping at the little thieves, while Hank was so fascinated by the silvery, agile dance of the swimmers. So wanting to join them, he threw the worms, which he dug out of mud, up into the currents to invite more fish, explaining to them how he wished he could grab onto their tails and fins and go along on a swim up higher and higher towards the light. Some fish, scared of his frantic gestures, scattered away. Others, attracted by the free food, gathered around Hank, opening and closing their mouths in silence while letting out an occasional bubble of air. And then Hank would jump as high as he could with all his legs and float back down for a minute or two, enjoying the rub of the slim silver bodies, carrying him on for a little longer ride before he would touch the ocean floor again. One day the currents changed and carried Kali a little further around the big rock, closer to where Hank was explaining to his fish followers once again his desire to swim with them up to the light. Kali heard Hank speak, and she was so amazed and delighted that she swam right into the silver flock of Hank's following, right into the opening of his pincers, and offered him to hold tight to her fin so that she could swim him up to the light. They held onto each other tight, and they looked into each other's eyes, which was not easy since Kali's eyes were on the opposite sides of her head, but because Hank's eyes were protruding on little stands, he could hold her gaze anyhow. Here they are, looking into each other's eyes, holding each other, swimming up to the light. And they talked and talked, naming all the things around them, and they swam with currents among the long strands of seaweed up and up towards the light. They felt their hearts swell with love for each other, and the higher they rose, the more love their hearts made, until it spilled all over them, creating a shiny bubble of love that was now enveloping them tightly, carrying them even higher to the surface of the ocean, through the waves of that surface, up into the air towards the big, bright sun. so high that they could see the ocean from up above, far beneath them, and the clouds surrounding their bubble of love, and the big sun lighting it all from the sky. And Hank, looking into Kali's eyes, said, "I love you." And Kali said, "I love you too." And Hank thought, "It cannot be better than this." And Kali thought, "Impossible. I am so high up in the air." Here their hearts swelled with love. And then the bubble burst. And as the bubble burst, Hank's pincers lost their grip on Kali's fins, and both of them started falling gently and slowly through the clouds down towards the ocean waves, losing sight of each other, but still protected by the love in their hearts. And as Kali hit the surface of the water, she turned into a mermaid. Here's Kali the mermaid. And Hank, in that same instant, turned into a sea lion. And here's him. Here's both of them. Now, both Hank and Kali could dive deep towards the ocean floor, swim with fish, play with long strands of seaweed, come to the surface to breathe air, and have their faces warmed up by the sunshine. They could sing their songs to the stars and the moon at night and play with big ocean waves. But could they recognize each other now? All Hank could remember and love was Kali the fish, and all Kali could remember and love was Hank the crab. This ends the tale. And you are welcome to make a different end, to make this tale longer, to imagine how Kali the mermaid and Hank the sea lion can meet again. Or maybe you can remember some of your relationships that changed you so profoundly that you became a different person and you could not recognize anymore the person who you were with in a relationship, who became also a different person. You know, relationships do this for us. They change us. And it's really, really lucky if we can find our beloved in that new person, changed person, when we ourselves has changed too. And if they can find us again and again and again. So, something to think about. And my next video is gonna be the same tale, but I want to make it in such a different way. I have all these beautiful ideas. I I hope I'll make it soon. But for now, I wish you good night and goodbye.